Hello, everybody. This is the second edition of Weston On Westeros, the podcast of Game of Thrones that we put together. Obviously, this week was a big episode. It was the Purple Wedding, and if you haven't seen it yet, stop the podcast right now and go see it. You'll really love the part where Joffrey dies. And then finish the episode, or when you finish the episode, come back to this and listen to what we got going on. But
so like when you said stop, yeah, he meant stop it right then.
Right at that, so, yeah. I wasn't playing around.
Yeah. If you heard the spoiler, I mean, fuck you.
The books have been out for like 15 years. You should know. You should read a book every once in a while. It's not gonna kill you. But no, obviously this week we given you like a week head start because of like school and work. We just got around to this. We both watched this earlier in the week, but then we just rewatched it. Also, when I was listening to last week's podcast, I noticed I talked about time, but nobody knew what time it was because you listened to it at different times. Right now, it's Friday at about 11 o'clock at night, so we just got done watching it. So when I reference things like tomorrow or yesterday or last week, things will make sense more. But, yeah, all right.
And this is what we do at Friday at 11 at night.
Yeah, we don't have fun. Like, we don't go out, we don't drink, we don't chase women, we fucking watch Game of Thrones, and then podcast it, and then do whatever else we do. Probably go to bed early because we're not cool anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are too old.
It's come and gone.
Mm-hmm, yeah, the cool stage is gone. Alright, so we bullshitted for like 2 minutes. Yeah, if you listened last week, that's great. We had almost 50 views in 1 week of our first podcast. That's awesome. I hope everybody really liked it. And if they didn't, you're not going to find anybody better than us, so come back to us. We're like the Chris Brown of podcasts.
We're just going to get better with age.
We're just going to keep getting better. Yeah, but we had a really good podcast last time, but we missed some stuff that we would like to clarify. Plus, some people commented, texted us, Facebook messaged us, stuff we got wrong or whatever. So first, I like to say, my sister brought this up after she listened to it, that I didn't know the name of Oberyn's paramour. I do know the name. Her name's Elaria Sands. I don't know why I said that. But her name, I know her name. After I just said I knew her name, then I fucked up her name. But I do know her name. What I meant is I didn't know the actress who played her name. Because she was in Rome and Human Target, like I brought up. And my sister was like, you know what his paramour's name is? I said, I didn't mean that. I said, yeah. No, I knew. I want to clarify that because Mary brought it up and whatever. Anywho, also, another thing was we got the ice. What happened to ice wrong? They did melt it down into two swords.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was largely my bad. I don't know why. It just didn't seem familiar to me.
Right.
But, I only read the books twice in one summer, last summer.
Right.
So, I have a pretty good excuse for not knowing.
Right. I mean, it's... Okay, so I think that clarifies our errors that we did, which is pretty good. By the way, if this is your first time listening, I'm Weston of the Weston On Westeros. This is my co-host Adam of Weston On Westeros. He came up with the name, so it's not like... it's his thing. He's like, yeah, so, anywho, and also another thing my friend brought up was that we didn't talk any about Jon Snow, Ygritte, or the North at all last week. And I think, there wasn't a Reek scene last week, but we can just tie that all together and, like, cover the North in the first part, and then get to the big part of the show, which was, obviously, the Purple Wedding of Joffrey and, Margaery. But last week, Jon Snow was in a real quick scene to show how beat up and shit he was after taking like 3 arrows and then riding like a shit ton of ways on a horse, which can't be very comfortable.
Ow.
Yeah, fuck his life,
Jostling and everything.
Right.
But it's Jon Snow. He just takes pain. He takes emotional pain, physical pain.
Right.
He takes everything on stride.
He called out Ygritte in the end of season 3. He's like, fucking shoot me if you're gonna shoot me. And she's like, okay, I'll shoot you 3 times, but none of them will be kill shots. And the other...
They're like little love pegs.
Right.
Sometimes women will do that. They'll throw barbs just to, let you know.
Yeah. And the Wildlings brought it up. They're like, I think we've seen you shoot a chipmunk from like 800 yards away. and get it through each of its eyeballs. I think that was the exact quote from the show, but we'll have to get our fact checker department to check that out. But
So your sister.
yeah, my sister will tell us when we get there.
She's so cool.
Yeah, she is cool, but she definitely lets us know when we're fucking wrong. It's
Just, I mean, someone's got to do it.
Right. She's like our fact-checking department. By the end of the year, when she's done with school, we should have her up here as like a guest third co-host. Because she's read the books once and remembers everything. And I read the books once and have to look like onto, Wikipedia and shit to like figure out what happened and everything.
And I read them twice and remembered next to nothing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So and I think just having a girl on, she's your sister, I know
right,
that.
Yeah.
But having a girl on the show, I think would really expand our listening audience.
Right.
It'd be great.
I talked to like 3 or 4 girls who listen to our podcast, which is
Are you
3
serious?
or 4 more than I thought would listen to it. Yeah.
Like real girls?
Real girls. I won't name any of them because this is a podcast and we're not trying to get anybody like stalked or anything, especially like me or Adam or anybody. But yeah. So I mean, yeah. But my sister's basically our fact checker because she's mean like that anyway. Where like if you're wrong, she lets you know. So, but yeah. So okay. So that was with that and Egret, and then obviously those crazy cannibal zombie guys came up, and because every show has zombies now, so why not Game of Thrones as well? And so they had the zombie guys come up. That was pretty freaky, and they were chilling out in that pass. I guess we should have done this scene or this part of the podcast after we rewatched that because I can't remember exactly all that happened. But anybody out there listening, including my sister, who will listen to this probably over Easter or whatever, while she's eating Cadbury eggs, just email. I'll send out my email or something, and you could like correct us. Because we're not like too proud where we won't take your corrections and everything, but it's us. So
yeah, and you'll get a whole segment pretty much dedicated to you.
Right? Yeah, we talked about my sister for like the last 3 or 4 minutes, like how she picked up on all of our stuff and everything. So if you want to be as famous as my sister, tell us when we're wrong. Tell us like what we fucked up on. Let us know, what we can improve and stuff. Because we're open to almost everything. We're like Oberyn. We're open to a lot of things. Like apparently fucking Loras. Is that in the book?
That's definitely not in the books. That's definitely not in the books.
Loras is gay, I get it. But like in the books, not everybody's gay. Like Renly's not as gay as he was in the books, like in the show. Like in the show, he was like banging dudes all the time. But in the books, they're just like, he liked playing with fabric. And apparently like, the producers of the HBO program were like, all right, the guy likes clothes, gay.
So we got to gay him up a little bit.
Yeah, right. And Oberyn, I was talking
I guess I don't get why they gayed up Oberyn, though. I think it's because they're trying to show, like, Dornish culture, kind of.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to say. Like, they're trying to connect Dorne to, like, ancient Rome, where, like, everybody in ancient Rome fucked each other. Mm-hmm. That was, like, and, like, they fucked horses and stuff. So it's, like, that's how they're trying to put Dorne. I always thought Dorne was like Italy because everybody like has dark hair,
right?
And they like are really chill and they ride around on scooters saying ciao and eating pizza and stuff.
And Italian people are beautiful people.
Thank you.
And the Dornish are beautiful people.
And they have wine. That's another thing. Right, yeah, they have the wine. Yeah, and they don't care if you're a bastard or not. They'll fuck anything. It's like cool. Like the girl from the TV show Rome, who I won't look up her name. So if anybody else wants to look up that actress's name and like comment on our posts, that would also be pretty cool too. So back to another thing we noticed different from the books in the show was Bronn didn't train Jaime in the books. He was pretty much gone by this point. He was like, I got my money. Now I have some lands and shit. I'm gonna go like build a castle and just chill out for the rest of my life.
He marries a chubby girl too, doesn't he? Yeah. He's like, hey, more cushion for the pushing.
Right. Like, that's the thing in Westeros. If you marry somebody not so great looking, in America,
Bolton.
Right. Thank you. Yeah.
Married the fat Hispanic girl.
Yeah.
the Frey girl.
Yeah, the Frey. Yeah, I think.
I mean, I don't.
You have to understand all the.
Hey, Mamacita!
Frey fucks Frey's like 300 years old, and he's had sex with like so many women that like eventually like new gene pools start to form.
Think how big her mom must have been though, because he's like a tiny little old dude,
right?
And that chick is like a balloon. She's like a balloon toad.
And that Frey guy has been creepy since he was in Harry Potter. So like, yeah, he was in Harry Potter.
Who did he play?
I don't know. I don't follow Harry Potter.
Someone creepy.
Yeah, probably. But he was in it. Trust me.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I don't follow Harry Potter. Sorry, everybody out there. We just might have lost some people. Yeah.
I mean, I don't follow the movies. I follow the books.
I didn't even read the books.
Oh, fuck.
I had one of the books read to me during one of my, like, 6th grade, I think the teacher.
Yeah.
Because I had
mine in 5th grade.
Yeah, we had, I'm a little older than you, though. So I think a year older.
Yeah,
I'm 26.
You're 2 years older.
Okay.
But my birthday's coming up, so.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. Well, we'll post on Facebook when it's your birthday, so everybody can wish you a happy birthday from the realm.
Woo!
Oh, no, it was read to me in like 6th grade, and by a teacher I didn't like, by the way, but she read it to us, and I'm like, this is boring. Nothing really happens. In my head, that's how it was. But in 6th grade, I was all about like dinosaurs and Godzilla and monster trucks. So maybe if I reread it now, it'd be different. But no, at the time, I definitely wasn't clicking for me.
I was into it. I used to check my mailbox for like letters and shit. Like I thought it could happen to me.
Right.
I thought J.K. Rowling, because she wrote such a compelling story, that she was actually an undercover witch.
Okay.
And was going to be murdered for writing the series.
Oh, okay.
And that having cracked the code, I was obviously a wizard myself, and would be getting a letter soon to take me to the American version of Hogwarts.
Nice.
It didn't.
Which is located in Hoboken, New Jersey. Yeah.
I was thinking like Camden.
Oh, that's all right.
It's a great town.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, but no. Damn, we really went off. This is a Game of Thrones podcast. We promise. Okay.
Sorry, I'm sick, so I'm not thinking straight.
No, it's fine. No, this is going fairly okay.
Back to the episode.
Yeah. Okay.
Folks.
Yeah. So
segue back. All right, we're good.
Okay, let's talk about real quick before we get to the coup de grace, because in show business, what you do is you like when you have a commercial break and you're trying to get people to watch like everything. We're trying to get you to listen to the end to hear us talk about the Purple Wedding, but let us talk about all of our other bullshit we talk about. And then you're gonna hopefully keep listening. If you're still listening, you're doing great. You're almost there. Like we're already 12 and a half.
Once we getting paid, we're gonna get paid by the minute.
Yeah, right.
So this is gonna be so. Like 45-minute podcasts that aren't really informative, but my God.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, it's
we'd
gonna
be talking.
And they'll come out like every day because by then we'll quit like our real jobs and like just do this.
All right, segue.
Yes. Okay.
Segue.
Back to okay. I wanted to talk about the Stannis scene real quick.
Yeah.
From this week's episode.
Yeah.
Really sweet scene with his wife. I think her name is
Elise.
Yeah, I was gonna say crazy bitch Elise. But no, and then her daughter, who's super nice and like wants to teach people how to read and everything, but she has great
Knigget.
But Melisandre goes and talks to her. But I think at this point, the main thing I want to bring up is like Stannis is like a guy who's been married to like the same chick for a long time, and he has like his side girlfriend, but he's like sick of both of them. I get that kind of feeling because he's like that one thing. His wife's like fucking crazy and won't give him an heir, but she gives him like nasty glow in the dark babies that are kept in jars of Mountain Dew. So like in his bedroom, she'll give him a lot of those, but she won't give him like a real heir. And then the only kid they ended up having had grayscale, which is like for how like shallow the people of Westeros was. That must have been pretty devastating.
Yeah, it was kind of like having leprosy in the Middle Ages. If you had it, you're not gonna have a lot of friends.
Right.
But so yeah, you've got her, and then you've got Melisandre, who is she's obviously evil.
Yeah, and Melisandre was cool up until the Battle of Blackwater Bay, but then they lost and everything, and he was like, damn, I got this chick in this crazy religion, I'm definitely gonna win the battle, but no, it didn't turn out like that. But that's not a spoiler, that happened last year. 2 years ago, that was season 2. Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't know,
go buy the DVDs. Yeah, It's like, I don't care how much you like me
Get a
or
life.
Adam.
If
you gotta
just get a life.
I
okay?
watched the first season in like 10 hours.
Yeah, I watched it in a straight sitting.
I watched like up to episode 6, and then I got up to 9. I think it was 8 or 9. I think it was 9. Doesn't Ned Stark die in 9? Spoiler alert. He dies in 9 or 8.
It's towards the. I think it's the second to last episode.
Yeah. Okay. So he dies, but I was gonna stop. I was gonna stop watching, and then my best friend's like, "You can't stop on that episode. You have to watch the next one." I was like, "Okay, I don't need sleep or anything." But God damn. Back to
the scene we're talking about.
No, but
I think it's really interesting. Mm-hmm. I don't think we ever really got the dynamic in the book, but Melisandre and Elise are. It's Elise, right?
Yeah.
All right, they're really like catty with each other.
Right, yeah.
And I never got that in the book.
Thing. Like you'll notice, some like comedians usually aren't the best looking people. Like we're funny and then like ruggedly handsome as well, which is so rare. But like her daughter,
we're a rare breed.
Yeah, but her daughter is, like has grayscale, so like she becomes sassier, I think, from that. So, I think that's a side note. That doesn't matter. No, but I really like where Stannis is going. He's like, everybody else is going all in on this religion, but he's like, hey, you know what'd be cool with this religion? If I was fucking king right now.
Yeah, Stannis, I think, above all else, he's a realist and he's a pragmatist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No one really likes him because he's kind of a dour sort of dude. But
the sad thing is he should be king. It's like his rightful throne.
It really is. And
I know.
He wouldn't be a bad king either.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be the most loving king in the world.
Right.
But I'd rather have
He'd
him
be like
than
stern. He would open up the books. And,
Stannis. Stern but fair.
Right. And Davos would be a good hand.
Definitely.
I think,
Oh, yeah.
Although he doesn't have some of his hand, he would still be a good hand.
He'd be a good most of a hand.
Right.
I knew there was something wrong.
There's something else real quick I would point out, because I know my sister would get to this point, because she would listen to the whole thing. She doesn't like Davos.
Really?
Yeah, she doesn't like him.
What's not to like about Davos?
I don't know. I would talk to her when she's reading the books, and she'd be like, "Oh God, another Davos chapter." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Those are like the best ones. And she's like, "Oh, I get it. You ate onions. He cut off your fingers. I fucking get it." And I'm like,
well, I mean, if you say it in that voice, every single character is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Ned Stark, I'm king of the North. Oh, I got your head now. Oh, my head got chopped off. Oh. Like, you can make anyone sound as boring and douchey if you say it in that voice.
True. Another thing I'm gonna bring up is the Reek.
Yes.
I understand why they're doing this. They don't want to give the guy who plays Reek, Theon, Alfie Allen. I know his name. Lily Allen's brother, by the way. They don't want to give him like 3 years off until his next scene, because I don't think Reek started showing up until really in Dance with Dragons, right?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think he showed up. So they're jumping the gun way.
Because I remember when I found out that Reek was Theon, I was like, what?
It took me like 3 chapters, because in Feast for Crows, I think the 4th book, he starts to introduce a lot more characters than like the standard ones that you get in the first couple books. So like when he comes up with a new character, you're like, oh, this is just somebody different. But no, it was
That was when I actually started liking that book.
Yeah. Feast for Crows is the 4th book, in case you haven't read it so far. It was really good.
It's tedious,
though. Yeah, and it's... If I read it in the order it came out, it took him 6 years to get to Dance with Dragons, the 5th and most current book. I could see why people would be so upset, because there was like... there's... Spoiler alert, a lot of your favorite characters are in Feast for Crows. They don't show up till the next book, but we're not gonna ruin it for you. But
if you love Cersei, you'll really like that book. She
it must have been.
Speaking of Cersei, she is turning into mega bitch.
She's
quick,
terrible. Yeah,
real quick.
Right, but back to
the Reek scene.
Back to the Reek. Yeah, the Reek scene was grisly. It was really good, but the guy who plays Ramsay, super good.
Yeah, he's in Misfits. If you guys have heard of that show, the British version, it's a very good show. The first couple seasons are they're good. So yeah, check them out.
He's good, and Theon's good, or Alfie Allen's good at Theon. And with Reek, they showed him how we pointed out how tame he was by the when he had to shave Ramsay.
Yeah,
he could have killed him so quick. but he didn't.
And that was just proof. That's what, Ramsay was trying to prove to
Yeah.
Bruce Bolton. He was trying to prove that this guy has
He
value.
really beat the shit out of Theon for a long time.
He cut his penis off.
Right. Which was like his favorite toy.
Verbatim.
Right. That's what I'm quoting the show for once.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Exactly some of the shit he said. But no, I thought I'm glad they're doing this with Reek and stuff. They can't go 3 seasons without him and then hop back in and show him because like people who only watch the shows will get confused because.
I mean, this is more chronological anyways.
Right.
Because the books aren't chronological, they're character built. They're chronological-ish, but because they're based on characters, like, books can happen at the same time.
Right.
Just with different characters.
Right, yeah. It is more chronological, which is nice. Because it's easy for me to say. I read the books I started reading the books like a year after Dance with Dragons was released. So I didn't have to take breaks. I read all 5 books in a row.
Oh yeah, if I had to take a break, I would have been pretty PO.
Yeah, so I definitely realize what people are coming from. Okay, so I think we covered everything up to the wedding, but first, go ahead.
One thing I want to mention, the dog scene where the dog scene, very reminiscent of Django Unchained. In my opinion, pretty gnarly. Not quite as gnarly because it doesn't go on as long, but
it's pretty
gnarly.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so my friend who listens to this podcast, we'll call him Norm or Will.
How about Norm Will?
Norm Will.
Like normal, but Norm Will.
Nice. Okay. He had a good idea. He really liked what we did, which was shocking because I didn't know anybody would like what we did. Like, my mom doesn't even listen to this podcast, so like...
Mine doesn't know about this, but why would she?
Right? Yeah. I don't want to tell her that I'm doing curse words on the internet. But, no, but he had a great idea where we come up with, like, a silly segment to do, and we promise we're going to talk about the Purple Wedding. But first, I think we should do the silly segment, and I'll lead it off since I haven't told Adam any of this so far. I haven't even told him the plan for it.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
The silly segment I came up with was planning your perfect Westeros wedding. What would take place? Like, what would you eat? Like, what would happen? So I'll go first. All right. Now it's easy. Like, the first guess you could say is, who would you marry? And the first one comes to mind is Marjorie, but she has a problem, or like when she marries somebody. Or gets close to it, or like the ceremony just happened, they die
every time.
So I'm gonna go away from that. I think, and I'm not gonna marry anybody who's already married, but like their spouse is still alive, because that's not nice.
I mean, okay, so this isn't like dream wedding with no parameters. Is there an element of realism to this? Like
you can't like say, oh, Scarlett Johansson. That's not how it.
I got that.
She has to exist. Like, all right. So my dream.
I didn't know we were factoring elements of like guilt into this.
Yeah. But I think So I think my dream wedding. All right. So this is what we would do. I think it would be in Dorne because I like nice weather. The winter here was just so bad, and I hated it so much. And Dorne like never has winter. It's like always warm. But they eat food with snake venom in it. It's not for me. I don't like spicy shit. Like, Taco Bell can get spicy at times for me. I'm kind of a big wuss about that. So, okay, we go to Dorne, but we have, like, more King's Landing food and shit. Me and Danny get hitched.
Danny isn't Daenerys?
Yeah, because, listen, I want her army. I want her dragons. I know she's been with some dudes in the past, like, Khal Drogo and stuff that are like way bigger and stronger and better looking than me, but I can put that aside for our love. That would be okay. And then who would die at my wedding? That's a tough one. I think I'm gonna need your help with it. So okay, I got my perfect wedding set out. I'm gonna wear some gold shit.
That one guy.
Yeah.
I know who should die.
Who?
What's his name? The dude that Jon Snow talked to. The old City Watch captain. Who dies of He's in the Night's Watch now, and he's on like the council. You know, you got Jon Snow, and he's getting judged by those guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't know his name though.
Okay.
I fucking hate him.
No, my sister will tell us who his name is. Like next week when she listens to this.
Yeah, and he probably shouldn't be at your wedding anyways.
Yeah.
So,
but he would. Yeah, I think he would die. And then my original thought was like, who should die? I'm like, oh, fucking Littlefinger. But no, I think he's like too cool and evil. But no, I think that would be my perfect wedding. So my perfect wedding would be me wearing some gold ass chains and stuff, marrying Dany, getting her dragons and shit, but still being cool with like her being her own woman. I think I'd be okay with that. Having her armies and shit.
So ladies, this guy Weston over here, he's a catch.
Thank you.
He wants you to be an independent, strong, dragon riding woman.
If she's chill with me, like hanging out in my king's quarters, playing Xbox One.
Oh yeah,
it'd be cool with that. Ordering like Jet's Pizza or whatever the fuck it's called in Westeros. So I think that would. I think all that, and then having the one guy who my sister is gonna tell us the name of die at the wedding. I think that'd be my perfect Westeros wedding. Oh, and lemon cakes, because I mean, fuck yeah, lemon cakes. So what about you gotta now they put you on the spot?
I do.
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
I need to think of her name though. It's the old Dornish daughter.
Arianne Martell?
Arianne.
Yeah, yeah.
Arianne Martell, because she is a straight up nymph. She's kind of a whore in the show. She just loved to like bang. Not even a whore, just a chick who liked to have sex.
Yeah.
Which was fine.
That's fine. No, but
it's kind of hoary in Westeros.
She was so cool because she went up to her dad and she's like, hey, I just lost my V card to like this dude who's a bastard. Yeah. And it was awesome. And like it was so sweet. What do you think of that? And he's like, I fucking hate you. You are now like heiress and shit, and go hang out.
That being said, though, I like her dad. I think her dad would be a cool father-in-law. He seems very like
that's mellow. See, I like how you're thinking about implementing the family. See, I kind of was doing that too, because all right, let's go to Christmas time, and Danny's like, hey Weston, we have to go see my parents for Christmas. And I'm like, oh hey, two things real quick, Danny. One, we don't have Christmas in Westeros, you dumb. Woman. I love you, but and two, your parents are fucking dead. That's the one like got you. So I don't have to go see your in-laws ever. This is like the best of both worlds. But sorry to take over your thing, but no, Arianne's a really good choice.
So yeah, Arianne, I don't want the wedding to be in Dorne.
Okay.
I would definitely like to have a home in Dorne. Good spot for the wedding.
Yeah.
Good question, man.
I think anywhere but the Iron Islands.
Like Highgarden's really nice, apparently. So maybe Highgarden, very flowery, very fancy. A lot of cool things there. So I'm going to say me and Arianne in Highgarden. Person who dies, Pycelle.
Oh, damn.
Grandmaster Pycelle.
What a gross old man that guy is.
I know.
Yeah, that poor girl was standing there. He's like, I'm going to examine you with my face. And she's like,
come back to my quarters so I can smell your panties.
Damn. The dude's fucking creepy as shit. No.
And then Cersei's like, oh, go see Qyburn. Like, that's going to work out for her.
Right. Cersei went up and straight up cockblocked that guy. Cersei has cockblocked every guy in Westeros except Jaime.
Even Jaime.
Every Jaime every once in a while, for real. And she was the bitch to like everybody. She was a bitch to Brienne. I guess that's how Westerosi women are when their sons are getting married or whatever. Okay, but without further ado, the silly segment of planning your perfect Westeros wedding is over. If you want, send in your ideal ones. Map out like who would die, what you would eat. If you're gonna poison somebody, what dish.
Any scenario you want. Yeah, really.
And to the ladies out there, the lady who listens to the show or whatever, pick a dude. If it's Oberyn, we saw it coming. He's awesome.
If it's another lady, even better.
Yeah, but especially in Dorne, where they're cool with that shit, because they're cool with like everything. Do it. Write anything down. Message us. Comment on the YouTube post. Whatever. Let's try to make this a thing. And if it isn't a thing, I don't give a fuck. Because I had fun talking about it, and so did Adam. He's really happy right now.
I mean, we would do this anyways.
Yeah,
we
planned our perfect. This is what we text about, like when we're in, like supposed to be doing school and stuff. So
yeah, and if we were like working at the store, I mean, shit.
We don't work at a store. We don't tell you where we work.
By working at a store, I mean working at a horror house.
Nice. Got him.
Yeah. I rhyme. And don't tell the truth. I talk in riddles, as you can see.
If you're listening to this, you probably know us pretty well. Since
left hand, right hand, take it sideways, flip it upside down. Where do I work? I don't know. Do I even have a job? Shut up. Shut up, Weston. Let's talk about the fucking wedding.
Okay. We just hit the 30-minute part, Mark, and we're going to talk about the wedding.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay, so, hate to talk about my sister anymore, because I know she's still listening. She's probably pissed at us because we're talking about her the entire time.
Yeah.
But she pointed this out, and then my best friend pointed this out as well. In the book, it wasn't a necklace that Sansa got. It was a headdress. You know what I'm talking about? So, it's a little different from the book. People like it when we point out stuff that's different from the book. I just think a necklace is easier to use in a TV show. It's a little classier.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Another difference from the book I noticed was the dwarf fight. In the book, it was just a joust between two dwarfs.
Yeah, a dog and a pig?
Yeah, on a dog. No, I love what they did. And see, this is especially when Martin writes the episode, I feel better about it because I know it's just him getting a do-over. So I'm cool with him writing, implementing new stuff. But having the War of the Five Kings with dwarfs, really, showing how big of an asshole Joffrey is by laughing the entire time, and insulting everyone at the wedding.
Literally.
Everyone. Yeah, Loras left his seat because they showed when they killed his boyfriend, Renly. So.
Yeah, and, Joffrey's there spitting his wine out and just being a big douche. Even his wife was looking at him like, hey, man. What you doing, man? Right.
And she insulted Sansa when they showed Robb Stark dying, and they insulted Tyrion just by having dwarfs there. He even went up and he said, hey, give these guys 20 more gold.
Yeah.
Because, this is ridiculous. And then Joffrey insulted Tyrion in front of everybody. He insulted him earlier in the episode. Tyrion gave him these sweet books as his wedding gift. And for a second there, Joffrey fooled me into thinking he was a nice person.
Yeah, me too, actually. Mm-hmm. Which didn't happen in the book. He never made that little nice speech, wisdom now after the battle.
Right, and I was like, oh man, they're going to turn him kind of likable before his wedding. Nope, he had him smash the books and shit, dick the entire time.
He's got a new sword, Widow's Wail.
Yeah, which
he enjoyed for about 7 minutes or so.
Yeah, right, he had that sword for just as long as it takes you to eat a Subway sandwich. That's as long as he had the sword. I don't know why that analogy came out, but
it's about right though.
Right. So they had him with the sword, and he smashed the books, and I was like, okay, forget having this kid ever be likable in any way. He's just 100% pure douchebag, and they had him, just be a dick to everyone, even his in-laws, everybody, his mom, whatever. So they call out, and they're trying to I think they showed that the wedding was a real good view into the entire show about Joffrey, because the whole time Cersei and everybody's trying to rein him in a little bit.
Yeah.
Marjorie's come here, my love, and stop being such a douchebag to Tyrion and stuff, and he wouldn't listen. And then
it kind of showed the whole crowd too, looking at him and being like, who is our king?
Yeah.
Because he's obviously just a petulant child. He's a big piece of shit.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool when he dumps the wine over Tyrion's head, and then Tyrion fights back by just being nice and respectable.
Right, yeah.
And Joffrey doesn't know how to take that. He's not used
Tyrion's a man who, his words are his only weapons. So to see him do that, it was really cool that he's he wanted to peace out the entire wedding.
Yeah.
And, take Sansa back to her room because he was fucking done being there. But
what really pissed Joffrey off though is you can be my cupbearer, and Tyrion said it will be an honor.
Yeah.
And Joffrey's it wasn't meant to be an honor.
And then Tyrion's I'll take it as one, bitch.
He's I don't give a fuck. I got you.
Yep. And then they had some in the side they had some cool scenes where Jaime's still really possessive of Cersei. He's hey, I heard you might marry my sister, Loras. And he's yeah, that'd be fucking sweet, right? And And he's like, actually, it wouldn't, because, like, I'm the only man who should be with her, although she's fucked, like, numerous other relatives and other dudes at this point. But,
she's been around.
Right, yeah. And then Loras was like, hey, dog, not meaning to step on your territory here, but, like, Tywin made this shit come down, and he's, like, the wedding planner from hell at this point.
Tywin just watched this all with a smile. He's just like, derp.
He sat back and watched Joffrey die. He was just like, I'm stoic because I'm Charles Dance. He just like watched him die and shit. And that was so great. But no, and then it got to the part where Joffrey they brought out the pie and he started eating it. He was like, oh, this is dry and shit. I'm Joffrey.
It's dry pie.
Yeah, and then
a lot of dead birds in this pie. Where'd those dead birds come from?
And then he starts to choke it, and he drinks the wine and everything, and you know the rest. He turns purple and fucking is bleeding out all of his orifices, and it was just awesome, and it was what we were all waiting for. So whoever eats baked good and dies in their office How Joffrey Dies pool, you won. But no, it was just, and then they had Jaime and Cersei over him because, that's his parents and everything, and he was dead as shit by the time he flipped over. But he still had enough life in him to point at Tyrion and blame him one more time, because for some reason he fucking hated Tyrion the entire time. But, so we see... So that's the end of Joffrey. He's very dead.
It was a pretty gnarly poison that got him to it. Big hemorrhage kind of thing going on. His eyes filled up with blood real quick, which... It was a lot more gruesome than it was in the book, which I really enjoyed because I think like a fuck twat like that.
Yeah. Oh, God, that was great.
It was good to see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, he probably shit himself.
Oh, yeah.
He shit
Bowels
himself.
emptied, yep.
It'd be funny if his last words were like, I pooped myself.
I hope they were.
I've done pooped.
Yeah. What a good
good
ending to a terrible ass person that nobody likes. Just the show did it. Of course, the show.
I'll kind of miss him
a little bit, but now we get. This is a spoiler because you should know the line of succession, as you will, like with the president. If like something happens to him, Tommen's king, because even though Marcella's older, it goes to the male. So Tommen's king now.
He's that plump little blonde boy who has no lines.
And they changed the actor halfway through, so like. Yeah. So
I thought he looked different.
Yeah, he looks a little. He's
a little older than he was, right?
Everybody's a little older in the show than they were, but no. He was that guy was actually one of the Lannister cousins that Karstark killed last year.
Okay.
So they had him on for like one scene, and they're like, "This guy's good. He should be king next year."
He died really well in this episode. Let's chuck him into kingship.
Right. So. But no, we get to see the end of Joffrey, which was great. I'm sure everybody liked that scene. Everybody loved it. But now we get to see a reign of Tommen. Tyrion's arrested. Dantas came up and tried to whisk Sansa away.
Yep, important to mention that.
Yep, that shit comes back. Don't worry. They're not going to end it on you. So I think that's pretty... This podcast...
This is really long.
This is 17 minutes longer at least than our last one.
So, I mean, we should have said at the beginning, like, if you're going to watch this, maybe you should do something else at the same time. Like, Wikipedia.
Or cook a book. Or cook a
book.
Read a cookbook and, like, make meals for your loved ones.
Right. Or, like, light a fire in your bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Or play video games or something.
And just listen to us in the background. We'll be your sweet, sexy, soothing white noise as you drift.
Right.
And you'll hear some tidbits, and you'll miss some tidbits, but there's a lot of tidbits. So.
And anything that we get wrong, we'll correct in the next week.
Yes.
So that's pretty good.
That's a pledge. Yeah. If you tell us, we will correct it. Or if we find out on our own, we will
I think how we're going to do this from now on is it'll probably be about this length. In case you're like, oh man, when do I get to listen to Weston On Westeros this week? Oh, I got like 40 minutes for lunch. Can I do it then? Yes, you can do it then. It'll be about 40 minutes. We'll open up with Mary, my sister, telling us what we got wrong and correcting it. Mary! and then introducing ourselves, like, in case this is your first time. And then we'll talk for, like, about everything else besides the most important scene for like half an hour and then talk about bullshit and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll try to do a silly segment or whatever, and then we'll do like the ending scene, and then we'll just ride along for a few minutes.
Yeah,
Because
we're just talking to
we
talk
got
right now.
you.
And hopefully
Yeah.
next time we do this, I'm not coughing.
Yeah.
That's been me this entire time. I feel like complete poop.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from.
Right.
I have a good idea where it came from, but I'm not going to talk about it.
We were going to do it last night, but we ran into, like, homework and life and everything. You're finishing up next week with finals.
I'm done next week.
Yeah, so we have, like, we can work all we want, but, like, school's, like, a little more commitment, but we'll have school be pretty much wrapped up, and we'll get this out quicker. I know this is a holiday weekend, so we'll try to get it out. I think, remember, we're like 10,000 times faster than George Martin in turning around new content.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, anytime you're like, oh, man, this podcast is taking forever, we're way better than that guy with the stupid Greek fishing hat. You know, not that I don't love him, but damn, sometimes I get frustrated with him.
Yeah, I'd like to.
It's like when you get a new dog, and all it does is shit all over your carpet.
You
still love it.
Yeah, you just want it to get on and be an adult dog.
It's like no, but like what the dog is nice like once out of 10 times. That's George Martin. He writes a book once every 10 years, and the rest of the time he shits all over your carpet. But you still love him because those times when he's great. So, but. Man, if you made it to this part, the 41-minute mark, we are very proud of you. We're so proud of you. And thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, we love doing this for real. And we hope that you enjoy this journey as much as we do. Maybe we can get big enough and like get our own booth at WizardCon, which we're going to in August. So
to meet Herschel.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Herschel. Hey, Herschel.
We should live podcast from WizardCon.
What if we could?
That would be sweet.
That'd be sweet.
We could do it in like on the train, but there'd be a lot of train noise and everything. So
yeah, we could scream though.
Right. All right. Well, for week 2, the Purple Wedding. This is Weston on Westeros. This is Weston.
This is Adam.
And we're signing off for the night. So everybody, have a good night. Happy Easter. See you next week with the reign of King Tommen.
Oh yeah.
All right. Good night, guys.
Night.